Uh, it's great.
Great. You're doing great today?
I slept a lot in the afternoon.
Oh, really? Is today your day off?
No, actually, during the pandemic period, during this pandemic time, I just have a half-day work.
Oh, you don't have any clients, not clients. You don't have any patients?
Patient.
Yeah, I have a clinic. I have a clinic I have 2 clinics every week, and I need to visit the in-hospital patients every day. But I do not need to do other examinations.
Oh, okay. So
because we want to, our hospital want to isolate every doctor in one examining room or one place.
Oh, okay. I think that's smart because you don't want people to try to get infected by other people. Okay.
Yeah, and if any patient has to be isolated, we just need to isolate a small group of doctors and nurses.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay, that's great. How are you doing, Billy?
Always very busy and a lot of meeting. And by the way, I communicated with a team member. She is a girl and very aggressive and ambitious, but she did not get a promotion, so very frustrated, and I need to comfort her. And I say it's not my fault, my boss.
Oh, okay. So she didn't get the promotion that she was hoping for.
Yes, because she's the top sales in my department.
Okay.
And it's very said the resources and the promoted resources is limited.
Limited. Okay, it's limited.
So it's very sad. I cannot recommend her to be the promotional list, but I promise her next year I will fight for her promotion. If my bosses do not allow to promote her, and maybe I will fight for her.
So this time you didn't fight for her?
Yes, just a little argument between me and my bosses. I know my boss.
Your boss?
Yes, but my boss is a VP, vice president. But he said, don't adopt it. If you want to argue late, and a lot of people want to, maybe we'll have 9 to 10 people or co-workers will argue with him. So finally, I compromise the list. That's all.
Okay, that's very stressful. I was just talking to a student about what would his reaction be if he got laid off. So I think it may be a little bit, I guess, similar, because if your team members are not happy with their status, then maybe it's hard to keep them in your team or in your company, right? Because if other people are willing to pay her more or to provide a higher position for her in their company, then you're not going to be able to keep her. Yeah, it's very tricky. Okay, so today we're going to talk about what topic. Did you guys have time to read the article?
Oh, yeah. I just screen it very quickly.
Okay, it's read really quickly. Okay, great. Okay, so breakfast. Let's start with the warm-up. So Billy, do you think breakfast is important? First of all, let me ask you, do you have breakfast every day?
Not really. I don't eat breakfast every day, but I think it's very important because after rest through whole night and your stomach is empty, and you need to eat some food to digest, to increase some energy.
Okay, to boost your energy, you can eat breakfast. But you don't eat breakfast, so how can you say that?
Because I feel I'm not hungry. When I wake up every day, every morning, I just feel energetic and powerful, and I don't have the feeling I need to eat something. So at least a milk tea.
Milk tea. Milk tea has a lot of sugar. How is that healthy?
I don't know, but I like to drink milk tea, especially the McDonald's. The milk tea is very delicious and very nice. So at least sometimes I will buy milk tea.
Okay, milk tea. I think another better. What would you, Evan? What would you recommend Billy to have for breakfast? Do you think milk tea is a good option? Because I honestly don't think it's a good option.
I think he need. If I recommend Billy, I'd like to suggest him to take some carbohydrate like bread and with some proteins like eggs, something like that, or milk.
Okay, so what is your recommendation of having a healthy breakfast? Is to have some like toast, maybe some brown bread or whole wheat bread?
I think the bare wheat bread is better.
Pardon? What bread?
I mean, maybe I just translate from Chinese. Some wheat, like
whole
grain.
Whole grain.
Oh, whole grain. Okay, right.
Whole grain.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah,
what?
Whole grain. Yeah, it's better than common bread.
Okay, white bread. The common bread is white bread. White bread and whole grain. And what about you said with eggs, the protein part, right?
Yeah.
So
or
eggs
some fruit.
Or some fruit. What type of fruit do you recommend?
What type of fruit? I think everything is okay. I do not have any restriction on the fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, but actually I didn't eat. I do not eat breakfast.
You don't eat breakfast? How am I supposed to persuade everyone that having breakfast is important if you don't eat breakfast, right? Okay, so Billy.
But actually I do not think breakfast is very important.
Oh, you don't? You don't think it's very important?
Oh, yeah. I see.
Okay, so we have whole wheat and whole grain. So whole grain, sometimes it has some maybe like sesame or some, I guess, healthy, we call it like nuts or something like that inside the bread. Yeah. So
I think it's because the flour, because in the white bread, it's composite by very small, very small flour. So there might be filtered a lot of minerals or other vitamins that we need.
Okay, vitamins that we need. Okay, great. So what do you think about diets? Billy, what type of diets have you ever heard of or have you ever tried?
No, because I think I have a good shape and I exercise. I like to sport. So, so for example, I like to marathon. I have 7 health marathon. So
Wow.
I don't need to be diet.
Be on a diet. Be on a diet.
Be on a diet. Yes. So, but if you are too fat, I think it's necessary to be on a diet.
Okay. So even if you haven't been on a diet, have you heard of any specific types of diets?
Yes.
Vegan.
Sorry.
Okay, vegan is one.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
diet are you on? Billy's on a diet.
Yeah, just vegan is kind of you can eat eggs, but you don't eat other meats.
Vegan, you can eat eggs. I heard vegan is they don't eat any animal derived product, right?
Okay, so I confused with vegetarian and vegan.
Yeah, vegan is the strict, the one that has the most restrictions actually. So Billy, vegetarian diet, can you have eggs and milk?
Vegan cannot eat egg and milk, but vegetarian can.
Right. So which one are you on? Are you on the vegan diet or are you on the vegetarian diet?
Vegetarian. Sorry.
Vegetarian. We talked about this last class. One more time. You can do it.
Vegetarian.
Good job. Okay, right. You're on the vegetarian diet. So this is a kind of diet. It doesn't mean that you need to lose weight, but it's restricting the type of food that you are eating. Okay. So talking about losing weight. Okay, let's have a brainstorming session now. For exercising, what do you think are the advantages of exercising and the disadvantage? And Evan, what do you think about exercise?
I think exercise can help us to have strong muscle and the slim figure, and the disadvantage was exercise may if we exercise too much, it may hurt our body.
Okay, so don't exercise too much. It may hurt our bodies.
Yeah.
Do you need to exercise to lose weight?
I think we need. I think we need exercise because it help us to have a better figure. But if you just want to lose weight, the diet is more important.
Right. Okay. So if we need to exercise. Okay, great. Yeah. So Billy, what about big breakfasts? So you don't eat breakfast, but what do you think? Having a big breakfast, people think that you should eat more early on in the day and then maybe have a medium-sized lunch, and then dinner time you shouldn't have too much food. What do you think about that? Does that work for losing weight?
In my opinion, I don't like to eat breakfast. So I think big breakfast is not necessary. For me, if I eat too much and I cannot think, and it just like Adama concludes. So due to the reason, so I think big breakfast is not good for me. But I think it's very important to eat breakfast. It's healthy and important to our body.
Okay, but you don't do it. Okay. Evan, what about sugary food? Do you think that is a big impact, that makes a big impact on the losing weight part?
Yeah. I think too much sugar can because the sugar it has very small amount. It's just small amount, but it can have a big calorie inside. So if we just maybe we just drink about 100 milliliter bubble tea, but it may have the calorie like a bowl of rice. So
Right.
yeah, so it can maybe you do not feel full, but you intake a lot of calorie in the sugary food.
Okay, right. So it's really bad. Okay, so if you have 100 milliliters of bubble tea or of soda or of Coca-Cola, okay?
Okay.
Sleeping well. What do you think, Billy? What do you think about sleep?
Obviously, I think it's very, very important sleeping well. If you do not have a good quality of sleeping, and when you wake up, and you will feel exhausted. You are not because you don't have the power and you don't have the spirit. You cannot be a good condition to think, to exercise, to deal with any routine events.
Okay.
For me, I'm the person who sleeping very well when I go to bed, and after 2 or 3 minutes.
Do you snore? Do you snore when you sleep?
Sleep with snore.
Oh, okay, you snore. Oh, okay. Well, you then your wife may not be able to sleep if you sleep when you're snoring.
Yeah.
You can wear earplugs. Okay. Okay, great job. So for the pre-reading, true and false, did you guys have time to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes,
So
finished.
just finished it? Okay, so ooh, funny. Okay, so let's look at the article here. So let's take a look and take turns reading. Okay, Billy.
Researchers have revealed what might be a highly popular new way to lose weight. Eat a big breakfast. It could become the biggest diet fad ever for those wishing to shed a few kilos. Scientists in Germany conducted a study on how a hearty breakfast affected by the body metabolism. In a laboratory experiment, 60 men ate a low-calorie breakfast and high-calorie dinner one day, and reversed this with a high-calorie breakfast and a low-calorie dinner the next. Eating a large breakfast and a small dinner boost a process called that include thermogenesis, DIT. This is the generation of heat in the body that burns up calories. This happened even when the total calories consumed throughout the day remained the same.
Okay, great. So let's look at this part. And Evan, can you continue on?
Okay. Eating a big breakfast led to 2.5 times higher rates of DIT. Researcher Dr. Julian Richter spoke about the findings of her investigation. She said, "Our results show a meal eaten for breakfast, regardless of the amount of calories it contains, creates twice as high DIT as the same meal consumed for dinner. This finding is significant for all people as it underlines the value of eating enough at breakfast." She added, "Eating more at breakfast instead of dinner could prevent..." Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Ran off. Oh no.
Okay.
Sorry, let me open this. I don't know why this didn't come up. It was like black, so I thought it was really ugly. Okay, let me change it here. Okay, so, great.
This finding is significant for all people as it underlines the value of eating enough at breakfast. She added, eating more at breakfast instead of dinner could prevent obesity and high blood sugar. We recommend that patients with obesity as well as healthy people eat a significant breakfast rather than a large dinner to reduce body weight and prevent metabolic diseases.
Okay, obesity. Yeah, obesity. Okay, so can you try to summarize this in, let's say, 4 sentences? What is this talking about? What is this article trying to say?
Me or Billy?
You?
Oh, okay. It's trying to compare it with people who eat more breakfast versus fewer dinner, or people who eat more fewer breakfast and more dinner. And in conclusion, they find people who eat more in breakfast can burn more calories. So it is a more effective way to lose weight or have a healthy life.
Great. Okay, Billy, is there anything you want to include here?
No, I think Evan said Evan's conclusion is very perfect.
It's very perfect. Okay, great. So let's move on to the discussion question. So how important is a big breakfast based on the article that you just read? How important is it? Okay, Billy.
There is a experiment. If you to approve the breakfast big breakfast is very important. For example, if you eat big breakfast and it can burns up your calories, so maybe it's a good way to lose weight, and it can let you and be more energetic.
Right? It can help you be more energetic, right? So have you ever been on a diet? Okay, Evan, can you share your experience?
Okay, currently I'm on a diet, so yeah, so my strategy is do not eat breakfast, and it is based on a theory that very popular recently. We call that intermittent fasting, and there is a very important review found in the New England Journal of Medicine last year, and in conclusion, it concluded that if we can have fasting about 16 hours a day, it's very helpful for us to lose weight and control our blood sugar and have a low risk of cancers.
Okay, so how is it working for you? What's your time?
And so recently I just restrict my dining time during 12 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Isn't that more though? Isn't it usually like 11 to 7.
Yeah, it's okay. So what you need to do just to have a fasting time about 16 hours or more than 16 hours a day.
Right.
So
yeah. Yours is more even strict. It's stricter than the ones that are usually, they say, I think it's usually your eating time is around 7 hours, but you're restricting it even more, right?
Yeah, no, my eating time is about 7 hours from the 12 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't eat breakfast. But if you don't if you want to but if you don't want to eat dinner and retreat your dining time from 7 a.m. to maybe 3 p.m., I think it also okay. And for me, because I always feel bloating after getting up, so I don't think I need to eat a breakfast. I just drink a cup of coffee.
Okay. Is that bad for your stomach? Some people say they upset their stomachs if they have coffee on an empty stomach.
Because some people, they have maybe they have acid regurgitation after coffee, so they do not okay, they are not okay if they drink tea or coffee if their stomach is empty. But I do not have this problem, and actually I consume about 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day.
Wow. That's a lot. Caffeine overload for you. Okay. So is a big breakfast or big dinner better? What do you think, Billy?
Absolutely, I think big breakfast is better. Why? Because according to the article tells us breakfast is more important than dinner.
But what do you think?
Yeah, because I do not eat breakfast.
I know you don't.
Although it's very important, but I think it's very important. It's better to, if you have time or you have the habit to have breakfast. But for me, I think just like Evan said, because I think I feel energetic, and the time between the time between eating breakfast and lunch too short, and you are always feel full of, and I don't like the feeling. So I choose not to eat breakfast.
Okay, not eat breakfast. Okay, so Evan, what do you think is the best breakfast to have?
I think it's something like brunch.
Brunch is the best breakfast? Like what? Like what do you eat?
I liked the brunch before, like sausage and toast and eggs, maybe like what kind of fried egg? Not fried egg. It's
sunny side up.
Sunny side. No. I like that.
Scrambled eggs.
Scrambled egg. Yeah, scrambled egg. Yeah,
Billy, do you know what is a scrambled eggs?
I don't know. Health major eggs.
It's when you put it in the pan, but you mix it up first, so you don't see the egg yolk, right? If you just pop it into the pan and you see the egg yolk, it's usually called a fried egg or a sunny side up because it looks like a sun. But then if you kind of mix it together, it's called scrambled egg.
Scrambled. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I have liked a brunch restaurant before because I always order the scrambled egg and toast in before. But one time I went there and they say they didn't have any scrambled eggs anymore. So I I just leave a message on the Google review and say it sucks because they do not give me any scrambled egg.
It sucks. Oh, they're so sad. Okay, they don't have
Yeah.
scrambled eggs. It's not that hard. You just mix the eggs.
Yeah. I couldn't understand why they don't give me scrambled egg.
Okay, that's really bad. Yeah, you're not satisfied. Unsatisfied customer. Okay, number 5. Do you worry about the number of calories you consume? Billy, do you worry?
I don't worry about that because I think I'm not too fat. I have a good control of my weight and do exercise and sport. So I don't worry about that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, for Evan, what do you know about breakfast around the world? Can you give some examples? So give 2 and then leave 2 for Billy.
Yeah. For example, Japanese they like to eat natto as their breakfast, and it smells bad actually. And
Natto.
yeah, and I have went to Cuba, and in Cuba, every
Cuba?
hostel, yeah, Cuba, and in every guest house, they had a lot of fruit as your breakfast, and it's wonderful. It was wonderful.
Is there a specific type of food that they like to have?
They have kind of bread, and I just saw it in Cuba, and I didn't see it in other countries. It's kind of bread, and I don't know how to describe it. Maybe it's like something like Cuba sandwich.
Okay, it's like a Cuban sandwich.
Yeah, Cuban sandwich.
So is it like a really hard bread, like French baguettes, or is it like really soft?
Oh, it's really soft.
It's really soft.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's used kind of, is it like a bun? Like you put things.
Yeah, it's like a bun.
Okay, like a bun.
Yeah.
Okay, like a really soft bun. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Billy, can you share with us 2 of different maybe breakfasts from different countries?
First, I can introduce Chinese traditional breakfast. For example, 永和豆浆 and maybe rice bowl.
Congee.
Congee.
It's the rice, right? Yeah, with a lot of water. Congee.
Yeah, and next is Japanese breakfast. You layer a lot of dishes, small dishes, and you can eat rice with the small sauces or vegetable and miso soup.
Okay, miso soup. What's usually inside the miso soup?
What?
What
I can catch you.
What are the ingredients in miso soup?
First, miso and tofu.
Tofu, good.
And tong. I don't know how to say it.
Okay, we call it green onions or scallions.
Scallion. Okay. Green onion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think there's also seaweed. Right? There's also seaweed. Seaweed.
Green onion and seaweed.
Seaweed. Yeah, there's seaweed inside. Right? It grows inside I think it grows in the ocean, right? That's why we call it seaweed. It's a plant that grows in the ocean. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great job. And I also can think of Korean because I used to work for a Korean company and we always had kimchi. There was always a dish of kimchi in the morning. Oh, really weird. but yeah, not for me. Okay, great. Kimchi.
What is kimchi?
Kimchi,
Sorry.
it's made with cabbage and it's very spicy. In Korea, they have it hot. It's called kimchi.
I see.
Okay.
Kimchi.
Okay, so here is the role play. So first, okay, I'm not going to give you vegan again. I'm going to give you a different one. So first we're going to have vegan, low carb, or fasting is the best way to lose weight. Okay, so I'm going to give low carb to Evan, okay? And you're going to have to tell us 3 reasons why you think that the other 2 diets are not the best diet and yours is the best. And for Bill to give fasting, okay? You're going to support fasting. Okay, fasting is better than vegan or low carb diet. So you need to think about reasons why. Okay? Great. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys think about it for 3 minutes and then come back to the classroom. Okay?
Okay.
Great.